Welcome back to Celebrity Press, where secrets are exploded before your eyes. What would you do if someone you barely knew said they were pregnant with your child after one night? That's exactly the messy headline surrounding DaBaby and Simone right now, and it's got fans side-eyeing everything. The internet thought it was just another flirty podcast moment. A little tension, some jokes. But then things turned dark. Sources close to DaBaby say he didn't just ghost Simone, he blocked her on everything after she allegedly left him a chilling message claiming she was already pregnant. Not maybe. Not I'm late. She said she was pregnant.
Just like that.
So, was it true? Or just another fame-chasing stunt? Is Simone spiraling? Or is DaBaby hiding something worse? In this expose, we're breaking down every rumor, fake receipt, behind-the-scenes DM, and the emotional fallout from what's shaping up to be one of the wildest YouTube influencer scandals of the year. And trust us, by the end of this video, you won't be looking at either of them the same. Let's unpack how a late-night flirt session allegedly turned into a pregnancy scare, a public block, and a trail of desperate receipts. It didn't start with a pregnancy scare. It started with a crush that spiraled into public obsession, thirst traps, flirt sessions on live podcasts, and now, alleged voice notes claiming a full-blown pregnancy. But let's rewind, because the downfall of Simone didn't come out of nowhere. It was slow, painful, and honestly, public as hell. For years, she's been dropping hints that DaBaby was her dream man. Cute at first, harmless. People laughed along when she called him her future husband. But eventually, it stopped being funny and started looking desperate. The internet noticed. At first, it was little things, her mentioning his name every time she had a mic, reposting his concert clips like a fangirl with a platform. Then came the Zeus show, the fake spiritual journal, and a steady stream of soft life quotes that somehow always led back to DaBaby. But the real tipping point? That one infamous podcast episode. You know, the one where Simone basically tried to flirt her way into a relationship on camera while he sat there stiff as a statue. The moment she rubbed her foot on him in that bed, yes, a literal bed, the energy shifted. Viewers weren't laughing anymore. They were cringing. He tried to be nice. He really did. When she asked what they were, he gave the classic, "You my friend, you cool" response. But Simone wasn't hearing it. "So, you're attracted to me?" she pushed. And when DaBaby, probably just trying to get through the taping, said, "You're an attractive woman," she pounced on it like it was a marriage proposal. "So we're friends who are attracted to each other?" she repeated, like she caught him slipping. His reaction? A mix of nervous laughter and a clear attempt to redirect the conversation. But she wouldn't let it go. That episode felt less like a podcast and more like a hostage situation. And everyone watching could see it. Behind the scenes, insiders claimed DaBaby didn't even want to show up that day. A source from the studio said he looked uncomfortable from the second he walked in. The smiles were forced, the vibe was off, and it was obvious he wasn't there by choice. Rumor has it the only reason he showed up was because of a pre-existing promo agreement. Otherwise, he'd have been out. And when the cameras stopped rolling, he dipped instantly. No hugs, no goodbyes, no photo ops, just gone. But Simone didn't stop there. A few days later, she posted a quote to her Instagram story. "Energy doesn't lie. If you feel it, it's real." Fans took that as a follow-up to the awkward interview. Then came this soft girl era rebrand, silk robes, candles, spiritual crystals, and somehow, every caption still felt like it was directed at DaBaby. People in the comments even joked, "Girl, blink twice if he's not texting you back." But then things got weird. Quietly, almost like a whisper, rumors started floating through the blog world. Rumors about DMs, about voice notes, about a message that allegedly made DaBaby block her on every single platform. Now, the block itself wasn't new. DaBaby had unfollowed her before. But this time, it was total digital erasure. Gone from Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. He even removed her podcast clip from his story highlights. And that's when people started asking, what really happened? What did she say that made him shut it all down? See, this wasn't just a ghosting. This was scorched earth. And fans weren't buying the whole "we're just friends" act anymore. They wanted receipts. And B, Simone, whether intentional or not, was about to hand them over, one broken breadcrumb at a time. The internet started digging up her past. Everything from her infamous Zeus reality show "You're My Boyfriend" to that journal she sold where she claimed she manifested her dream man. People were rewatching her podcast clips, catching things they missed the first time. Like when she joked, "If we ever hooked up, I'd never let him go." Or when she said, "I don't chase men, I attract them," while literally chasing one man for 4 years straight. And then came the comparison no one could unsee. B, Simone as the real-life Nikki Parker, and DaBaby as Professor Ogilvy. At first, it was hilarious. But now? It felt sad. Because DaBaby had done everything short of filing a restraining order to show he wasn't interested, and she still kept pushing. The tone had shifted. Fans weren't laughing anymore. They were worried. But maybe the most bizarre piece of the puzzle came from a fake voicemail that started circulating in DM groups. No one knows if it was real, but the voice sounded just like B, Simone. "I don't care what you say, I know what we had that night," it whispered. "I'm late. I just need to talk to you. Please don't block me." Within hours of that leak, another insider posted a tweet claiming DaBaby was done playing nice. That he had enough. That whatever happened between them, a hookup, a mistake, or nothing at all, he wanted out permanently. And that's when the block happened. Not a casual "I need space" kind of move. This was full social media elimination. Meanwhile, B, Simone posted a black screen to her Instagram story with just one word. Wow. No context. No explanation. Just wow. And then she went silent. No podcast updates. No TikToks. No branded affirmations. Just digital dust. The soft girl had gone quiet, and everyone was waiting for what would happen next. So what led to that dramatic final moment? What pushed DaBaby to go nuclear? Was it the voicemail? Was it something deeper? Or was it, as many fans suspect, a final act of desperation that went too far? Because even if you believed they never hooked up, even if you thought all her comments were just jokes, even if you gave her the benefit of the doubt, one thing was clear. DaBaby wasn't laughing anymore. And when a man like that cuts you off completely, without warning, without closure, and with the world watching, it means something happened behind the scenes that we haven't fully seen yet. Something messy. Something emotional. Something that's about to spill all over the internet. And it's only just getting started. The silence didn't last long. Just when everyone thought B, Simone had finally backed off, a series of screenshots started surfacing in group chats, shady blogs, and fan pages. No watermark, no verified source, just one caption. She said she was already pregnant. That was all it took. The internet went into full detective mode. Was it real? Was it fake? Or worse, was it calculated? The messages looked emotional. Long paragraphs. Timestamps around 2:46 a.m. One even read, "You knew what we did wasn't just nothing. I didn't imagine it. You were there too. I'm already pregnant. I can feel it." Now, whether that was a real message from B, Simone, or just a troll fishing for attention, it didn't matter. The damage was already done. People believed it, and the narrative had shifted once again. Suddenly, the public wasn't just cringing. They were angry. They started reposting old clips from the podcast. Every moment where DaBaby looked uncomfortable, every line where B, Simone pushed too hard, every flirty joke that now felt like a trap being set. One Twitter user said, "She manifested him for years, then got him for one night and dropped a pregnancy bomb to trap him. That's not cute. That's insane." And the responses didn't stop there. One of B, Simone's ex-friends went live and said, "Y'all don't even know the half. She's been saying she was gonna get that man since 2020. She don't play. When she wants something, she moves like it's war." That line alone became a viral soundbite on TikTok. She moves like it's war. The type of statement that's funny until it isn't. So what really happened that night? Was there even a night? That's the thing about B, Simone. She plays in the gray. She says just enough to keep people guessing, but never enough to confirm anything. On her own podcast, she teased it. Sometimes you get what you want and you realize it's not what you need. Her co-host laughed. Girl, who you talking about? She smiled and said, if he blocked me, he blocked me. But he can't block destiny. Destiny? Now you're claiming the block was part of God's plan? It's giving delusion. But not just any delusion, full-on brandyable, monetizable delusion. Because within 48 hours of that quote, she launched a brand new Instagram series called Soft But Savage, My Journey Through Rejection. And guess who the first episode seemed to be about? Yeah, him. She never said his name, but when the thumbnail is a blurry bed photo with a red heart over the guy's face and the caption reads, the moment I realized I was no longer wanted. You don't need subtitles. And while all this was unfolding, DaBaby? Silent. Not a word. No subtweets. No stories. Just a photo dump with a caption, business first. Feelings last. Fans read that as a subtle jab. Others saw it as his way of moving on. But some said he was trying to distance himself legally. That he knew something was coming. Something deeper than just thirst or embarrassment. That maybe be, Simone wasn't just hurting. She was plotting. It's not the first time. Let's not forget the Jackie O moment when she posted, if y'all want to see how I'm grieving, subscribe to my Instagram. People dragged her for that, accusing her of turning death into content. Now, they're saying she's turning confusion into currency. And let's talk about that. The alleged voice notes. Because while no full audio has been released, multiple fan pages claim they heard snippets. One where she's breathing heavily and says, please just talk to me. Another where she allegedly whispers, this wasn't supposed to happen like this. I just want us to figure it out. Some say she sounds emotional. Others say it's pure manipulation. But no one can deny it's uncomfortable, especially when DaBaby hasn't said a single word about any of it. And then came the fake pregnancy post. A story that popped up on Simone's close friends list, screenshotted by someone who wasn't supposed to see it. It showed what looked like a pregnancy test, face down, next to a caption. When it's yours, but he blocks you anyway. The story disappeared in under 30 seconds. But the screenshot? Permanent. Reddit grabbed it. Twitter reposted it. And within hours, the blogs were lit up again. Everyone asking, was that real? Is she pregnant? Is this emotional blackmail? Or just another soft girl spiral? What's worse, some fans actually started defending her, saying DaBaby deserved it, that he played with her feelings, that he used her for clout and dipped. Others weren't buying it. They said she created this fantasy in her own head and then tried to make him live in it, that he kept saying we're just friends, and she just refused to listen. One person even tweeted, this is what it looks like when you build a brand off fake confidence. Deep down, it's all desperation. That tweet went viral because it hit hard. For years, Simone sold herself as the self-love queen, the manifesting goddess, the girl who only accepted kings. But now, the cracks were showing. Let's be real, DaBaby never let her on publicly. If anything, he looked trapped every time they were seen together. His body language screamed, I don't want to be here. And now, with this new layer of drama, voice notes, emotional posts, spiritual captions, it feels like she's trying to force a love story that doesn't exist. And fans noticed. One TikTok user stitched a clip of her saying, I'm a wife, not a girlfriend, with the caption, girl, you're not even a friend at this point. Brutal, but accurate. Then there was the burner account drama. A random Instagram page popped up with 0 followers, no posts, just the name at Heblocked for real. And guess what? That account started commenting under every DaBaby post. Just clock emojis. Nothing else. People started speculating, was it her? Was it a fan? Was it someone from her team trying to stir the pot? No one knows. But DaBaby blocked that account too. That's when the comment sections turned dark. People started using words like unwell, obsessed, and borderline dangerous. And while Simone tried to laugh it off with vague tweets like, "Y'all so invested in a story you don't even know," it wasn't working. The internet wasn't letting go. Because this wasn't just another flirt gone wrong situation. This was a full-blown digital implosion, one built on years of subtle chasing, spiritual branding, and pick-me energy dressed up as empowerment. And maybe, just maybe, DaBaby saw it all coming. Maybe that night, if there even was a night, was a mistake he instantly regretted. Maybe he thought being nice would make her back off. Or maybe he underestimated how far she'd go to make it all look like more than it was. But what's clear now?
He's done.
Fully.
Publicly.
Emotionally. And Simone? She's still posting. Still hinting. Still hoping, maybe, that someone out there believes her version of the story. But behind the captions and filtered tears, there's a much bigger question no one's asking. What happens when a woman builds her whole identity around chasing a man who is never chasing her? So now we're here. Not at the climax, but at the crash site. DaBaby's silent but final move, blocking Simone across every platform, said more than any diss track or public statement ever could. And Simone, left to narrate her side of the story with cryptic posts, filtered tears, and vague voice memos, has turned what could have been a simple rejection into a full-blown public unraveling. But this isn't just about one woman and one man. It's about what happens when obsession hides behind affirmation. When soft life becomes a weapon. When spiritual branding turns into emotional warfare. Let's get something straight. This isn't new behavior for Simone. It's a pattern dressed in positive quotes and Instagram carousels. The woman who tells her audience to love themselves first has, for years, publicly chased a man who's shown no interest. The same woman who preaches femininity and energy alignment has been digitally begging for attention. And now that attention has curdled into embarrassment.
Public. Loud.
Inescapable. But how did it go so far? One theory? She's not obsessed with DaBaby. She's obsessed with what he represents. Fame, masculinity, control. To a brand like hers, being with a man like him isn't just romantic, it's strategic. It validates everything she's been selling. Manifestation journals, spiritual affirmations, soft girl empowerment. If she lands him, it proves her point. If she loses him, it unravels the illusion. And unfortunately for her, that illusion is cracking fast. Psychologically, people are calling this a textbook case of delusion meeting ego collapse. Simone's entire public image has been built on, "I deserve a king." But what happens when the king slams the gate and burns the drawbridge? You either rewrite the fairy tale, or you spiral trying to keep it alive. And she chose the spiral. Let's not forget the spiritual contradictions. On one hand, she's quoting the Bible, selling God-centered journals, and encouraging her followers to walk in divine purpose. But on the other hand, she's whispering into voice notes, allegedly posting pregnancy tests, and chasing a man who, by all visible accounts, doesn't align with her publicly professed values. That's not just confusing, it's dangerous. Not for us, the viewers, but for her soul, for her mental state, for her brand. And the audience is watching closely. Every move she makes now feels like a cry for help wrapped in curated aesthetics. A tweet here. A vague podcast clip there. A black and white post captioned, "I forgive you anyway." But who is she forgiving? And why are we watching her disintegrate one post at a time? The sad part? People really rooted for her once. She was funny, raw, relatable. That laugh. Infectious. That energy? Addictive. But something shifted. Somewhere along the way, Simone stopped being funny and started being tragic. The kind of tragic you don't laugh at, the kind you scroll past with pity. And DaBaby? He's not the villain here. He's the escape route. Because just say, something did happen between them. A one-night slip. A hookup blurred by podcast mics and industry pressure. Even if DaBaby crossed that line, even if he gave her hope, what followed wasn't romantic. It was obsessive, delusional, and, most importantly, unreciprocated. The truth is, we've all been Simone at some point. Wanting someone who doesn't want us back. Reading into their kindness. Stretching one compliment into a paragraph. But most of us do that in private. She did it in front of the world. And the moment she added fake pregnancy claims into the narrative, game over. That's where the internet drew the line. Not at the thirst. Not at the flirty DMs. But at the manipulation. The suggestion that someone would fabricate pregnancy just to trap a man? That's not soft. That's sinister. And whether it was real or not, whether that test was hers or not, she knew exactly what she was doing by posting it. And so did he. So where does that leave her now? In digital limbo. Too public to disappear. Too bruised to pretend. She can't walk this one back with a rebrand or a wellness retreat. She can't laugh this off with a TikTok skit or another awkward podcast. This one stuck. This one hurt. And worse, this one exposed her. And that's the real heartbreak. Not that DaBaby blocked her, but that the world saw it happen. That the private collapse became public spectacle. That the woman who built a career off confidence just showed us how much she's still chasing validation. So here's the question. Did she really think it would work? That he'd see the test, unblock her, and suddenly become the man of her dreams? Or did she just want attention? Even if it meant playing the fool in her own fantasy? No matter what the answer is, one thing's for sure. DaBaby is out.
Completely.
Emotionally, digitally, spiritually. And Simone? She's stuck talking to a ghost that no longer responds. A ghost that left the chat the moment she crossed the line from flirtation to fantasy. This isn't just the end of a crush. It's the collapse of an entire illusion. And baby, it's gone viral. So now it's your turn. After everything we've just unpacked, the thirst, the block, the whispered voice notes, the pregnancy claim, we have to ask the real question. Was any of it even real? Or did Simone create the fantasy, live in it, and then beg us all to believe it too? Because if you're whispering into a man's inbox at 2 a.m. talking about, I'm already pregnant after one night, that's not love. That's obsession. And if he blocks you without warning, without closure, and without a single public word, that's not ghosting. That's escape. But maybe you think DaBaby is the one hiding something. Maybe there was something real behind the scenes, a hookup, a mistake, something he didn't want the world to find out. Maybe Simone was telling the truth the whole time, and he blocked her to control the narrative. So, what do you think really happened? Did she fake the pregnancy to force his hand? Or did DaBaby gaslight her into silence after using her for clout? Drop every wild theory in the comments. We're watching. And we know this ain't over. Because if there's one thing we've learned about Simone, it's that she never lets go quietly. Like this video if you're still trying to recover from the secondhand embarrassment. Subscribe if you've ever had to block someone who swore they felt a connection. And smash that notification bell, because over here, the drama never sleeps. This was Celebrity Press, where secrets are exploded before your eyes.